Hey, what's going on, you guys? Dre Ski back with another video, bro. Looky here today. What we're gonna get into, we're gonna do a decent size shard opening. It's not super big. It's just gonna be a decent size shard open. I got two accounts here. I got my free to play account, which I told you guys about. I showed you guys before. I had these sacred shards just sitting here. I didn't want to use them. On my main account, I would have had like 8 or 9 sacreds to open, but I had opened them during the last Summon Rush event so that I could get the last couple points there and get some extra stuff, some extra gear there. So let's go into it. We're going to actually, before we actually start this, I've got to go collect my sacred shard from doing the brutal campaign. If you guys, I did brutal campaign mainly with when I had some switch ups from my main team, because my main team from my 2-player team or whatever was Kale and Apothecary. I had them both built with pretty high speed, especially for how campaign is. So I had them built with pretty high speed. If you can have speed in like the 200s, that'll be insane. But I built them with pretty high speed. That's how I ended up doing it. And when I couldn't use Kale, I actually put Zargala in at the lead, and she did pretty good for me as well. So that's pretty much the two people I was using. I did use Gala Long Braids on, if you guys remember this level here, this one with like the where you're on like a ship in the sea. Oh my god, this one is annoying. But because this Aelthar or whatever, he was annoying. Then they had 2 ally attackers, and man, that was just irritating. But we ended up getting that done, and it took a little bit of time. But Gala Longbraids actually came in clutch there. I had to make the most out of my champions. I had to level up some stuff, and it just got messy. It got kind of messy. But anyway, let's get into it. We're not gonna. Should I open? Should I open my let's go ahead and we're gonna open some ancients first, just because this is my free-to-play account and we get an epic in the first one. What do we get? Sand/Slash Survivor. She's a really good champion for this account. Defense based orc. She has good in clan boss, very good in faction wars. Really decent champion all around. Her first skill is attack one enemy 2 times, has a 30% chance of placing a provoke debuff on the target for 1 turn. If this champion has no debuffs, heals by 15% of the damage inflicted if this champion is under any debuffs. This is a really good skill to have, especially for like if you're trying to progress throughout the game. She is Spirit Affinity, which is perfect because I don't really have any good Spirit Affinity champions. She also has defense at all battles, which is really nice. This is my first champion, I believe, with defense at all battles. She also has attacks all enemies, decrease duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn, increase duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. This is a really nice ability to have as well, especially when you go into like a dungeon. This is very nice to have. Whatever epic or legendary I can get on this account will help regardless. Unless I get like a dupe, but I only got 1 legendary, so I shouldn't get a dupe if I do get one. But this last skill is place a 50% ally protection buff on all allies for 2 turns when any ally's HP drop below 50%. Also place a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. This could be on a 4-turn cooldown, which is really nice. So anytime the any ally has their HP drop below 50%, it puts an ally protection on them for 2 turns, as well as putting a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. And which could be really cool is once you get that active, then you can attack all enemies and increase the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. So therefore you will have a 3-turn ally protection, and I believe that can be extended through masteries as well. So you could probably have like a 4-turn. I'm not completely sure. I don't really know the masteries up like the back of my hand. I think you can extend it though. But let's go into our next ancient shard. I got really lucky and got that apothecary though the other day. When I first made the account, he came in so clutch. I don't know what this guy can do. I don't really like his kit. So let's get into the next one. We get a blood painter. That's just a whatever champion. Let's go into our next one. We get war priest. Not really a fan of her. We actually do gotta create some space really quickly. Okay. I'm gonna just put these in here. Because we don't have a lot of space yet, so we got enough to do these last little bit of summons. So we get Pincer. We get a Acolyte. And we end up getting Bog Walker. So those are the champions that we got out of the ancient shards. So let's do our 2 sacreds and then we'll call it a day. So sacred number 1, and then we'll go on my main account and we'll do sacreds there. So we end up getting a Gorgorob. That's really nice to have on this account, man. Gorgorob, really nice. So we get ally speed and arena 23%, which is nice, as well as attacks one enemy has a 50% chance of removing 1 random buff, and we get feel determined of all allies by 15% and place an increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns, as well as having revives any dead allies with 25%, and then heals all allies by 25%. So you could book that up to a, what is that, 45%, I believe. Yeah, 45%, which is nice. So basically revives them with 25 and then heal by 45. So either way, pretty good, decent skill on a 5-turn cooldown once you book it out. This is a 3-turn cooldown. So yeah, really good champion all around. Let's get into our next sacred shard here and see if we can get anybody. So we don't get legendary on the free to play. We get Ripper, which is he's okay. Like you could definitely do better. It's not really a lot of good skinwalkers that are epics anyway. Besides, like, I think Steel Skull, I believe. Not really a lot. So that's it for this one. I'm not going to do my Void because there's going to be a double Void event in the next like 2 weeks or so. So I'm actually not going to do that. But let's hop into the next account and let's do those 5 Sacred Shards. All right, you guys. So we should get at least 1 legendary. And the reason why I say that is because currently I've opened a couple of sacreds and have not gotten a legendary from a sacred. So I don't know how many. I should be close to the Mercy. Should be. So we got a 12% chance to get one. And after 12 summons without a legendary, I think I'm on like 10. I want to think I'm like 10 sacreds in without getting one. So we should have one, at least 1 legendary by the end of this video. And then it increased by 2% for each shard. So let's get into it. Sacred number 1. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We get a legendary on the first attempt and we get a Ray. I actually do not have Ray, so good pull for me. She has pretty decent ratings all around, besides like on Clan Boss and Fire Knight. Everywhere else she looks pretty good. So she has attacks all enemies, has a 30% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. He also has attacks all enemies, inflicts 50% more damage to targets that are under debuffs. which is only damage increases on that one. You could also buff this as a 30% chance. You could buff this up to a 50% chance. So you definitely got to Cinder, dude, because that I don't like 30% decreased defense anymore. Attacks all enemies, removes all buffs, has a 50% chance of placing a freeze for 1 turn, which can be booked up to a 70% chance on a 6-turn cooldown. Really nice champion. Ally speed in dungeons as well. Really nice champion to have. So yeah, we're definitely gonna book her out. I don't know what her base stats are right now because I know those aren't, but we'll look in a little bit. So next Sacred Shard going in, we do get our legendary, so that's cool. We get a basilisk or whatever. I do not like this dude. He does have a revive on himself and places block damage on himself on that 6-turn cooldown. That's horrible. If it was like 5 or 4, that'd be pretty good, but that's too long, especially for only to do a block damage for 1 turn. Like if it was 6-turn cooldown with block damage for 2 turns, that would be cool. But yeah, no, I don't really like this champion that much. In my lizard man, I really don't use him, so take him as you may. Like I guess people would use him for the revive, but he only revives himself, so it's really not that big of a deal. And then it's on the 6-turn cooldown, so once he does it, like you're pretty much not gonna do it again, unless you're taking the battle really slow. So let's get into the next shard here. Our next champion is Karam or whatever. I don't really like this dude. I think he was one of my first champions actually. He's I don't know. Like he got okay ratings in places, but this ability deals damage from all poison debuffs on the target instantly. The reason why I don't like this skill, now if it was deals all damage from poison debuffs on the target instantly, and basically like the damage that this does initially is a decent amount of damage, like say it was like based on enemy max HP or something instead of just attack, and it was just a hit that does a lot of damage to a boss and then deals all the poison damage but debuffs or whatever instantly, it would make this champion very viable to me in different areas of the game. He also has one attack, has an extra 50% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Damage increases according to the amount of HP the champion has lost. Is okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like champion that get increased damage over the damage that they lose. You could probably put him in a just to mess around, probably put him like in a, it's not frenzy, it's I forgot which one is the one where you get fury. I think the more damage you lose, or the more HP you lose, the higher your damage goes up. So this attack will probably hit like a truck with that. But and then you have attacks where enemy has a 30% chance of placing 5% poison debuffs, which can be booked up to a 50% chance. So, yeah, he's okay. Not the best, but okay. So let's get into the next one. Alright, so we get a Jotun. He actually got buffed recently. I forgot what they did to him. Oh, they made it so his attacks are based on HP. Because I think this one was like based on like attack or something. But yeah, attacks one enemy has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. As well as attacks one enemy has a 75% chance of placing a HP burn debuff for 4 turns, which can be booked up to a 95% chance. Oh wait, no, 85, 100%. Sorry, I didn't count the 5% that was there. 100% chance to do a HP burn on a 3-turn cooldown. This is actually not that bad. You got attacks one enemy decreases the target's max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. Damage increases by 50% if the target is under HP burn debuff. This seems like this is a good spider champion, but he has a low spider grade. I really feel like this would be decent in spiders, because you could just use this for the HP burn on the spider and then attack him with it. I don't know. That really, never mind. That really wouldn't work because you need an AOE HP burner. You don't really need like how he is. But he got a high rating in clan boss, so take that as you may. But let's get into the last sacred shard here. Hopefully we get another legendary. It'll be crazy if we do. Let's go. Let's go. And we get another Fane. Fane is a really good champion. I actually would recommend getting a Fane if you can. So Fane is the rat. Dude, this shit just looks so weird to me. But anyway, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit plays 35% chance. Has a 35% chance of stealing 5% of the target's current turn meter or whatever. Attacks one enemy has a 75% chance of placing 2 5% poison debuffs and a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. And then it has a decreased defense and a weaken. So a lot of people say her base stats are really low, but if you use her the right way, you could really go off with her. So we're gonna actually go to Dark Elves because we got the Ray, and these are her base stats. So she has a really decent amount of defense for an attack champion. Really good amount of defense. She doesn't have any accuracy, which actually kind of sucks because her kit revolves around a little bit of accuracy by having a freeze and a decreased defense. Man, so she do get more crit damage, and yeah, her HP is actually kind of low though, but I would build her out with a lot more defense and then try to squeeze some HP in there wherever you can. And man, I don't know, I'll definitely build her out. She looks pretty cool actually, so she'll actually help me out a little bit in Faction Wars, just for the fact that you see I got legendaries, but just for the fact that she could free some enemies and that will come in clutch for me. But yeah, so once again, you guys, comment, rate, subscribe. Really hope you guys enjoy. We're gonna have more videos and stuff coming out soon, and yeah, peace.
No, wait!
He should have hit the like button.